About 6 months ago, I did a review on the Atoto M4 car stereo, and it was actually a really good car stereo. However, Atoto has now come out with the model A6, and the A6 has a lot more feature improvements, and it seems to be just a little bit more polished unit than the older one was. And I've had this installed in my car for about maybe 2 weeks or so, give or take a few days, and I thought it might be a great idea to do a review and share some of the features that this head unit has in case you are looking at head units and might want to buy one for yourself. So let's get started. I am going to say that if I can find any good deals on this, or at the very least I'll put a link on where I bought this. I'll put it down below in the description, so take a look down there. Maybe you'll get a good deal on it. But for now, let's continue with this review. The one thing that really impressed me with this unit is when you first start your car, it boots in literally about a second. There is no boot up time like some of the other units that are out there on the market. Boom, you're pretty much there and you're greeted with this screen. So you can customize this as any other Android device, and I've just kind of left it defaults so you can kind of see what you're going to expect when you first turn it on. So the unit comes with a couple of features which are pretty cool that I don't know if the other units out there on the market are doing this, but this one does. They have an integrated DVR, and now I have ice on my windshield, so I know it's not going to be a clear picture, but basically it's a built-in dash cam. Now the dash cam is optional. I think it's 39 bucks to add it. I'll put a link in the description down below to that as well, but it always records, so when you're driving down a highway you always kind of have a running log of how you're driving, and if you're in an accident or somebody did something that they shouldn't have done, you would be able to pull that record and provide that to the police, which I think is absolutely outstanding and awesome. I do want to show you a sample of some of the DVR, and I'm going to pull this sample up, which is early AM, so why the headlights are on the oncoming cars. It wasn't quite fully bright yet. It was 7:45 in the morning. As you can see, it does stamp the top, stamps the date and what time it was, and the quality is pretty cool. You can definitely make out the writing on the signs. I don't know if my camera is going to pick that up, but with my naked eye on the video, I can read those street signs. And I've also noticed in other clips I can read license plate numbers pretty clear as well. Now the unit does have a backup camera option, no feed, and I do not have the backup camera installed. I just don't use a backup camera, so it's not important to me, but the unit can handle that. So if you need a backup camera, this unit will do that as well. And one thing that Atoto seems to do that I really like is they also have the easy connection already installed, and what that does is it allows you to mirror your cell phone connection to your screen. Now the cool thing about that is it also means you can touch your screen and it'll control your phone at the same time. So a pretty neat feature that, again, not some of the other companies out there are doing. They also include the Torque app, which lets you integrate with an ODB2 type connector, and I also bought that option as well, which you can buy also through Atoto, or you can buy a generic version of that as well. But I'll put a link to the Atoto version that I purchased down below as well. And this is pretty cool because if you had any kind of issues or anything going on with your car, this would be able to check it. And as you can see right now, we're revving about 800 plus RPMs, and you can see my car is not idling very smoothly, but it is also about 1 degree outside, and I just started this car, so I kind of expect that. But pretty cool feature. Now what I do like about this unit is it is completely Android, and you can do whatever you want to do with this unit. So you could load movie players, or you could load anything that you want. If you're a gamer, you could even load some games on this thing. Now obviously you don't want to play games while going down the highway, but if you're in a parking lot and you're trying to kill some time, then you most certainly can do that. Now, this head unit also comes with a full GPS that's built into it, and that being said, it does have an external antenna. So you will need to be able to route that wire and mount that sensor somewhere, probably on your dash under your windshield, to lock into all those satellites. Now in my situation, I was able just to run the wire behind the dash, and you can see that's where I stuck the signal, right there in the corner, and you really don't see it from the driver's seat, and you definitely don't see it from outside. So that worked out great for me. The hands-free feature is actually very intuitive and easy to use. It is something that they improved from the older version of this head unit. So this one, being the A6, has a major improvement that the M4 did not have. And what that is they allow you to plug in an external microphone, and an external microphone is included, and you can route that. As you can see in my car, I routed it up the pillar and I stuck the microphone right there. Now This doesn't sound like a big deal, but honestly, with all of these units, the microphone is just stuck right up here in the corner, and you pretty much have to yell at the head unit to be able to carry on a conversation. So on my old radio, I was not able to use this in a hands-free environment unless I was yelling and screaming, and quite frankly, that got old quick. So I was very happy to see this feature added to Atoto. So something worth mentioning is the brightness level is automatic with your headlights. You can hook them up that way. If you can't find a wire to hook them up through your headlights, you can come down here and scroll through the brightness just by manually pressing the screen. And I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but you can make it really bright or really dim. I believe you can do it by time as well. In fact, it says auto brightness time, so you can. And one other thing worth mentioning is off to the side you have these buttons. Now I don't know how good the camera is showing this up, but on mine they are green. The lights in my car are green, so I was able to select those colors. And if we take a look in the settings, you can change them to pretty much any color you want. So if you have white lights in yours, you can make them white, or if you just want to make them white, make them white. But in my case, I like green so it matches the rest of the car. I have came with an external Wi-Fi antenna, and I am going to say that when I read the manual, it did say that some of these units have that Wi-Fi antenna built into the top, but mine came with an external antenna, and I was able to actually route that and run it up the pillar, and I stuck it underneath this piece right here. Now it had like a 3M sticky tape on the back, and I was able to stick it to the back side of this, route the cable down and around the dash like I did the other wires, and it worked out pretty well for me. So that works great, and the reason I like that is sometimes I like to start my car in the morning and pull podcasts down from the Wi-Fi that I can pick up from my house, and I've also found other times where I'm in McDonald's parking lot and I pick up their Wi-Fi and pull these podcasts down so I can listen to them on my commute. The unit itself does not have any USB ports on the face. However, it does have 3 USB ports on the back, and they're in form of a dongle. I was able to extend mine. Now, one of those I had to plug into the dash cam that I was able to mount up behind my rear mirror. If we take a look, and that's where the dash cam is mounted. And the other 2 I was able to put an extension cord on and mount them down here in the ashtray. As you can see right here, I have 2 accessible USB ports that I can charge my phone on, or I can duplicate my screen to the screen on the dash. My final opinion on this radio is if you're looking for an Android unit for your car, I think Atoto is going to be your answer. It seems to be very responsive. I don't have any problems with this unit at all. I've used it for a couple of weeks, and I must say I have fallen in love with this head unit. My next radio will probably be from Atoto because this unit is so well polished. It's priced right. I want to say I paid about $250 for it. You know, I'd say that's probably about middle of the road for a unit of this quality, but the features you get with this radio are honestly way better than some of the head units that are out there on the market. So I'll put a link in the description down below on where I bought it, and if you like these types of videos, please like and subscribe. Normally I do it-yourself type videos, but occasionally I'll stick a review in, mainly over a product that I'm really impressed with.